F9 is my least favorite film of the franchise. Vin Diesel is good as Dominic Toretto. Michelle Rodriguez is good as Letty. Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris are both entertaining as Roman and Tej. John Cena is really good as Jacob Toretto, and if I'm being honest, he's the best thing in this movie. There is a fun chase scene in the beginning of this movie and a fun fight scene in Tokyo, but here are my problems with this movie. The middle section of this movie is incredibly boring. And by the time we got to the final fight between Dom and Jacob, I just didn't care anymore. Also, the explanation for how Han is still alive is convoluted and doesn't make any sense. Overall, F9 did not work for me. If you guys enjoyed it, I'm glad for you, but this film was a miss. Tokyo Drift is one of the better Fast and Furious movies. Lucas Black and Sung Kang are good as Sean Boswell and Han, and they have good chemistry. Bow Wow is entertaining as Twinkie. Natalie Kelly is good as the love interest. The racing scenes are a lot of fun, and I love the soundtrack in this movie. Overall, Tokyo Drift was a huge surprise for me. I could not believe how much I enjoyed this movie. Fast and Furious is a film in the franchise that I feel gets hated on way too much. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are both really good as Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor, and it was good to see both of them back. Jordana Brewster is good as Mia. Michelle Rodriguez doesn't have much screen time, but she is good for the screen time she has. There are fun action scenes, and the movie has a good soundtrack. Fast and Furious is enjoyable. It's still not the best movie of the franchise, but it's not as bad as some make it out to be. While Star Trek Beyond isn't my favorite of the new trilogy, it's still a good movie and a good send-off for Anton Yelchin's character. Fast and Furious 6 is another good movie in this franchise. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are both really good as Dom and Brian. Michelle Rodriguez is good as Letty. Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris are both entertaining as Roman and Tej. Dwayne Johnson is once again awesome as Luke Hobbs. The action scenes are very entertaining. They are very over the top and ridiculous, but the good thing is this movie embraces how crazy things get. Fast 5 is a very enjoyable movie. Dwayne Johnson is awesome as Luke Hobbs. He brings so much charisma to this movie, and he has a lot of good humorous moments. The action scenes are a lot of fun. The music and the soundtrack is really good, and there was never one part of this movie where I got bored.